Welcome to the Unapologetic Man Podcast, the only podcast that's all about self-improvement, confidence, success, women, and being a man without making any apologies for it. What is up, gentlemen? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the UMP, and today we are going to talk about 10 attractive things that guys do without even realizing it. These are things that all you gentlemen do that women get super attracted to, and you don't even realize what a champion you're being, bro. You're just so unbelievably attractive. I was just at the gym and I saw this chick checking me out, and I was like, what was I doing there to get the old checkout? Oh, was it because I'm jacking weights and women love when men improve themselves? Yeah, that could be it. Was it my body language? Certainly that could be it. Was it the tricep popping out the back of my shirt as I was doing some tricep extensions? Of course, that could be it too, but really, it's a combination of all those things. And I'm going to give you guys 10, maybe even 12, maybe even 15 different things that you do that attract women. And as we collect more of these into our repertoire, women are just going to get more and more attracted to you, so that when you walk through the gym, she was pretty hot too. I've never talked to her, and I was like, oh my hell, I got to go record a podcast. I'll definitely be talking to that girl soon. I love it when they have like a tattoo of kanji down their spine. She had that rocking, and I was like, oh man, that girl's definitely getting approached the next time I go. And that's what's really important about the gym is, as well as other places that you go to frequently, is you can do campaigns. So I caught her sweating me. She knows what's up. I'm going to talk to her the next time I'm there, and I'm going to continue to see her. So I'm going to do a campaign, which means I'll dip in, make her laugh on a high note. I'll dip out. She'll continue sweating it, and then I'll build it up over time. Rather than just trying to go for the full number in one close, I like to do campaigns. They're definitely my preferred way to do it, and that's why I like to frequent the same nightclubs, bars, supermarkets, wherever I game, because I like seeing the same people over and over again. But I digest. If you're new to this podcast, I want to welcome you. My point here is to teach you how to get a girl that doesn't have an afro in her nostril. Teach you how to get a girl whose breath doesn't smell like rhinoceros ass. Her jeans aren't so dirty, they stand up by themselves. And she's not so rotund. She's not rocking the kind of girth where if she wears a Malcolm X shirt, helicopters are landing on her back. No. I want to get you a girl equal to the hotness of the girl who I saw at that gym today, who you can introduce to your parents without having to tell her that she's a mute and she can't talk. A girl that, unlike a moped, which is fun to ride, but you don't want to be seen on it, you want to rock this girl everywhere you go. You're proud of her, and that's what I'm here to do for you, brother. So let's get right into the content. All right, so 10 attractive things that guys do without realizing it. Well, first and foremost, it's your body language, bro. Tendo. You got to hold your head up high, have your chest sticking out slightly, shoulders back, feeling like you're one of life's big winners. And whenever I walk through the gym particularly, you can see people who like kind of try to fake it, people who kind of go overboard with it. Just feel like you're a fucking champion. You make no apologies for who you are. And what's really important about body language is to feel comfortable. And as I've spoken about in a few of my body language episodes, to be vulnerable. Because when you're vulnerable, that shows strength. It shows that you're confident in your environment. And if something pops off, you have the wherewithal to handle it. So hold your head up high. Sometimes I'll have a small smirk on my face. Just really confident. You know what confidence looks like. I don't have to explain this to you, but always cognizant of that body language. And really good body language is relaxed body language. You're winning in life, but you don't have to prove it. The second thing that women find irresistibly attractive is when you treat her like you don't like her. Treat her like you're not that attracted to her. Treat her the same way you treated the last girl who had a crush on you, but you didn't like her so much. Do you remember that girl? Think about her. Martha, that's right. She was a bit of a mountain troll. Nice girl, though. Really nice girl. A little bit of a canyon mule, a sea donkey. But hey, she was cool, and not all women can be beautiful, but they definitely still have worth. So you friend zoned her, and you guys were cool together. But think about how you were acting when you dealt with Martha. Okay? You didn't give a shit what she thought of you. You were totally relaxed. Maybe your body language was somewhat turned away. You weren't trying to brag to her, earn her approval, sell yourself to her. You were okay to ask her for favors, okay to ask her for compliance tests, and you felt like you were, for all intents and purposes, worth more socially than she was. You just felt more attractive than she was, and you're like, meh, Maybe on my most desperate day, I dip into that, but I don't want to ruin my friendship with her and I don't want to break her heart because I'm a good dude. So I'm not going to dip into that. And then what happens, bro? Martha gets so sprung. The next thing you know, she's fucking stalker Texas Ranger. She's hanging outside your house with the sniper rifle trained on you at any given moment, and she's completely obsessed. It's because when you act like you don't really care what happens, you are confident, you are self-assured, you are not trying to win her approval, you are controlling the frame, and therefore they get attracted to you. So if you take one thing from this episode, let it be this. Although I'm going to give you lots to take, but if there's just one thing, take this. Treat girls who you really like the way you treat girls who you don't give a shit about, and they will get attracted to you. And even if you have to mind fuck yourself and put yourself in some post-hypnotic trance where you literally see that girl as a girl who you're not attracted to physically, do it, man. It's going to make you behave in the same way that you do with girls who you aren't attracted to. Thus, they'll get attracted to you. You could even tell yourself, and I've done this many times myself when I'm just dating a dime piece and she's so hot and I'm like kind of struggling, right? Like, oh, I really want to text her. God, I want to hit that again. I hit it last night and I want her in my bed again. I asked myself, what would I do if she wasn't that attractive? What would I do if she was a 7? Well, you know, like you, bro, I've dipped into a lot of girls who weren't up to my standards. And naturally, I behave kind of standoffish. They get sprung on me. So I just behave that same way. And that leads me to my next thing that women are attracted to without guys realizing it. You got to act like you're dating 4 girls at every single moment. Okay, so I always tell my clients, brothers, pretend you're wearing a bracelet that says on it, what would I do if I were dating 4 girls? What would I do in this situation if I was dating 4 chicks? Would I text that girl? Would I chase her? Would I let her act up? Or would I show her I'm not to be fucked with because I'm dating and talking to 4 other girls? So who gives a shit what happens? And this is what guys do without realizing it that make women attracted to them is they don't give a shit. They are outcome independent. They do whatever they want. And listen, if she wants to text with you and you don't feel like it, you don't text with her. If she wants to hang out and it's not a good night for you, you don't hang out with her. What would I do if I was dating 4 girls? In addition to, what would I do if I wasn't attracted to this girl? You combine those two and act in that way, you will be acting perfectly at every turn of the relationship. The next thing is the 80-100 rule. As a general rule, and this works into those things I was just talking about, you want to give her about 80% of the attention, 80% of the compliments, 80% of the time that she wants to hang out with you. You want to give her about 80% of that. Now, you do that naturally when you're hanging out with a girl who you don't really like, but she really likes you, don't you? You give her like 80% of what she wants, maybe 70%, right around there. You also do it when you're talking to 4 chicks. Who cares when this girl wants to hang out 3 times a week? You're like, meh, let's do it 1 or 2 times a week, about 80% of what she wants. When she wants to come hang out at your house for 5 hours, you're down for the 4-hour rodeo. And then you say, hey, listen, I got to get up early tomorrow morning. Why don't I grab you an Uber and we'll catch up some other time? So you always want to work in that 80-100 rule. And guys do this naturally. And this is funny to me is guys always act like master pickup artists when they don't give a shit what happens, when they're not attracted to the girl. And that's why I said, if you take one thing from this, always behave as if you don't really care what happens. Even if you have to control that red helmeted warrior in that underwear of yours who is itching to get into that squishminton, wants to have a festival in her vestibule. You say, no, you little fucker, I'm the sergeant major, you're the private, stand down, soldier. We'll get you in the fight as soon as it's appropriate. Once you have that kind of control of yourself via the 80-100 rule, via looking at your what would I do if I was dating 4 girls bracelet, and via you controlling yourself emotionally and treating her like you don't really care that much what happens, she's going to get super fucking into you. Okay, now let's talk about a girl who doesn't know you. She's looking at you from across the room. The first thing she notices, bro, is your hygiene. You guys who are rocking the unibrow, the afro out of your nostril, the greasy ass hair, the horrible style, BO, the fingernails with dirt under them, shoes that look like they came out of the 1900s. This is the kind of thing you need to really dial in for women to get attracted to you. And when I go to the gym, for example, my outfit's pretty pinned, bro. Like, I make sure those shirts fit me well. I wear pants that make my butt look good. Like, look, I'm not lying to you guys. I put effort into it because I know girls appreciate it. So that super hot girl that was jocking me today, it's because I had good style. I had good body language. I have a nice haircut. My hair was done. Not like too much effort into it, but the coif was rocking, bro. Quaff, quaff, knock your socks off. Everybody loves that quaff, quaff. And I rock it when I go to the gym because chicks appreciate it. It's kind of like, if you look at my picture, that's kind of how it is. It's kind of coiffed to the side there. The side of my head is shaved and really dialed in. I got a hard part, which means they shave like the part into it. I use a little bit of product. I wear a shirt that fits me well. My goddamn fingernails are clean. I'm not rocking a unibrow. I pluck my eyebrows. I shave my face like I just run a tight battleship. And chicks appreciate that. And guys who put effort into their style, guys who put effort into their hygiene, which unfortunately for women, and if you're a woman listening, you're nodding your head vigorously right now, is so fucking rare. When guys just simply put effort into that, women get way more attracted to you. And that's the thing, is a lot of dudes out there, they set that bar really low, don't they? They show up to the gym looking like a homeless man. You standing next to that dude, kind of in a good outfit, you can tell you put some effort into it. You're ripped, you take care of yourself, you have good hygiene, you're going to immediately have that first good impression. And this is what women are attracted to, with guys even really realizing it. The reason why I know guys don't realize it is because so few guys actually do it. So just put a little bit of effort into that and it will go a really long way. All right, going back to behavioral cues, what happens, I'm going to test you here, what happens when you get bad news and the woman who you're dating is sitting right there next to you? You just lost $25,000 in a real estate deal that went sour. Okay. You lost all your money and she's sitting right there listening to your phone call because it's on speaker and she hears everything. Hey buddy, just let you know, unfortunately that real estate deal fell through. We lost your money, man. It was 25 grand. We're so sorry. Okay. If you sit there crying like a little bitch, she's going to lose respect for you. If you're instead like, okay, I understand, we'll go ahead and take care of it, and you have a towards mentality, which is solution oriented. How can I fix this next time moving forward? What did I learn from this experience that will make me better? Women are tuned highly into your behavior. And when you get bad news, she is watching you to see how you behave. If you take it like a goddamn champ and think to yourself, instead of I lost $25,000, it's I learned a valuable lesson that was probably worth the $25,000 investment that I just made, she is going to get super, super horny for you. The way you take bad news is one of those things that guys do that seriously attract women without them even realizing it. As a general side note, gentlemen, and I did this myself, so I'm not hating on you if you do this, your tears will not be lubricant for sex. Cue the camera to 1997, Santa Cruz, California. MarkSing is a sophomore in college. Okay, I'm dating this girl, one of the first chicks I ever dated. Nice tits. Get her tits out, I'm sucking on them. And I don't know what happened, bro. I'm so embarrassed to admit this, but the next thing I know, I'm crying in her lap about God knows what, probably my dad dying when I was 10. Okay, there's a difference between showing vulnerability and showing vulnerability with weakness. And what I did was the whole weakness route, hoping as I cried in her lap, my tears would drip down her vagina, get it nice and wet, and she'd let me into that squish mitten. Do you think it happened? Hell no, man. She broke up with me the next day. So that's a lesson, $25,000 lesson that I learned, that your pity party, you crying, you being weak in front of a woman is extremely unattractive. On the other hand, you being a fucking man, taking life's blows like a goddamn champ, get nailed on the chin, and you just look back at life and be like, bring it, bitch. I got this. I am bigger than my problems. That's extremely attractive to women. So don't do the old MarkSing 1997 sophomore in college crying in a woman's lap. Doesn't work, bro. Take it from me. It does not work. The next thing that guys do without realizing it is being the leader of men, the leader of your social group, leading them into a good experience. I always go out with my girlfriends and I'm always the leader of our little crew. I go out with anywhere from 2 to 5 different girls. The more, the better, frankly. But even if it's just with 2 girls, I'm the leader. I'm the decision maker. I'm showing them a good time. And I'm the man because I'm the presider, the protector. I'm providing them a good time and making sure that everybody gets home safely. And that's what women are attracted to, the leader of men, and frankly, the leader of women. Be a leader and you will get them attracted to you without even realizing what you did to do it. All right, to change topics slightly, guys who are close to their moms, guys who are close to their sisters, and guys like myself who have a daughter and who would literally die happily for my daughter. So when a guy is close to his mom, when he shows affection towards his mom, he calls her on her birthday, he sends her flowers, he talks really well of her, that shows that this man knows how to treat a woman, because if you treat your mom well, the chances of you treating your girlfriend or future wife well go up exponentially. If, on the other hand, you're talking shit about your mom, you're super negative about women in general, gigantic red flag for women. So be close to your mom, talk good of her, talk good about your sisters, your cousins. And if you're like me and you're rocking through Walmart with your daughter, it's like girl magnet, bro, girl magnet. And for you guys with daughters or even sons, you see that when you're alone with your kid, kind of walking behind them as they're walking, or as my daughter likes to do, she likes to ride bikes around Walmart, those like little miniature bikes with training wheels. That's where she's at right now. So I'm walking behind and all these chicks are jocking me, and I'll open them and I'll talk to them. And you can just tell they're melting because a man takes care of his family. A man takes care of the women in his life. That is your job as the masculine man. The next thing guys do without realizing it is being ambitious. This is going after your dreams, going after self-development, investing in yourself, and trying to become the best man you possibly can be. That's why I always tell guys in my 3-month coaching program, I'm like, brothers, do you understand? You are in the top 0.01% of men worldwide simply because you invest in yourself. Getting a coach, trying to get better, trying to improve yourself, trying to reprogram your brain with NLP to become the best version of yourself is insanely, ridiculously attractive to women. And I tell my guys, look, you don't have to tell the girls you're dating that you hired a dating coach, but I'm also an NLP coach. So tell them about that. Women are always interested and attracted to a man who's willing and able to invest in himself, who has the courage, who has the intestinal fortitude to move into his fears willingly and to conquer himself, because the whole purpose of life is growth. And I'm going to get to that at the very end. All right, the next thing is a man who moves into pain willingly by exercising, dieting, lifting weights, learning martial arts. Women want you to grow. Going back to the ambitious thing, women want you to be ambitious, to grow. They want to see your survivability as a man, because their attraction to you is based on your survivability. Your survivability quotient, if you will, raises exponentially when you do things like lift weights, you do things like run in the morning, you do things like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which I'm really into. That shows that you're trying to improve yourself, and ambition is one of the most attractive things. I mean, if you're an ambitious dude, women will see that. And they will know that you are a high quality, highly survivable man, which they will be attracted to. And this is why, and I did this recently on an episode, women are attracted to men with money. It's not the money they're attracted to, it's the thing that it points to, which is ambition, perseverance, moving into fear willingly, hiring coaches, investing yourself, trying to become the best man you can be. So don't get it twisted, brother. The chances of her wanting to be with a man just because he can buy her a Louis Vuitton purse pale in comparison to the fact that women want to be with a man who's ambitious. And even if the money hasn't come, if you show ambition through your passion, through your work ethic, and through who you are as a man, your integral bearing that you carry along with you in everyday life, she will get attracted to that. So as I alluded to a few points ago, the most important thing, in my opinion, is knowing that you will never arrive, that life is instead a journey, and the point isn't to get to a place where you have enough money to sit on the beach drinking margaritas and banging senoritas, but instead the point is to grow, and your growth never stops. When you have a growth mindset where growth becomes the most important thing to you and you will do whatever the fuck it takes to grow as a man, women are irresistibly attracted to that. I would say it's the most attractive thing that you can possibly have as a man, because our point here is not in the world, brother. Here's a quick little tip for you that took me years to realize. The purpose of the world is not within the world. It's not you becoming a millionaire. It's not you becoming great with women. It's not you becoming ripped or a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The point of the world is in overcoming the world, not needing the world anymore. And to get to that point where you don't need the world anymore to tell you that you're enough, that you're great, that you're justified to be here, the only way to get to that point is to grow yourself as a man, where you use the world and all the lessons it teaches you to grow to the point where you don't even need it anymore. You don't need it to justify you, fulfill you, or give you the peace that will be yours when you overcome it. A man who is super unbelievably attractive to women is beyond the need for egoic circumstances to complete him. But instead, he feels complete in himself because he's constantly growing. The purpose of the world is growth. The purpose of life is growth. The purpose of you listening to this podcast is to grow. And if I helped you grow in any way whatsoever in this podcast, I'm glad, because that's your entire purpose on this earth. And I love that quote. I actually have it written right here, sitting on my microphone. It says, the ultimate purpose of the world is not in the world, but in overcoming the world. Don't take this shit so seriously. Focus on growth, which means focus on peace. I read that every single day because peace is my highest virtue. And because of that, because growth is the most important thing to me, and how many girls I've banged, how much money I have in my bank account, how I have a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, how I have a podcast that's in the top 1%, doesn't mean shit compared to growth. So focus on growing yourself, invest in yourself, work on yourself, become the best goddamn man you can be, because that is the purpose of this entire world. And once you fully accept yourself and no longer need those egoic things like nice cars, lots of money, and hot bitches on your tip on a day-to-day basis, and I say bitches in quotations because that's how a lot of guys refer to them, once you overcome the need to have that, that's when you become irresistibly attractive to women. Alexander the Great was conquering the entire world, and he was walking his horse into Africa, and this man was standing in the way on a trail. And his scribe came through and said, "Man, get out of the way. Do you know who this is?" And the man says, "No." He's like, "This is Alexander the Great. He conquered the world." And the man looks at him and he says, "I've conquered the need to conquer the world." Gentlemen, I do appreciate you listening. Remember, treat girls like you're dating 4 of them. Treat them like you don't give a shit. Because again, growth is your number one priority. You don't need women to grow, but you will get women when you do grow. So when you act as if you're dating 4 of them, looking at your bracelet that MarkSing gave you, what would I do if I was dating 4 girls? You will behave in the perfect way where girls will get attracted to you without you even realizing it. If you would like to get on a free, that's right, FREE breakthrough session with me to discuss how you too can grow in the quickest, easiest way possible with my coaching. If you've got one foot on the gas, going towards your goals, but you feel like you also have a foot on the brake, something that's holding you back from moving forward and becoming that man that you're meant to be, I would love to meet with you. Go to my website, CoachMarkSing.com, click on coaching, fill in the short application, slap in the Jesus, deliver the biscuit, and you and I will get on that one-on-one call together. Gentlemen, I have an absolutely spectacular episode dropping on Monday, so please stay tuned for that one, and I will see you in the next episode.